Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. Welcome. Happy Friday. And for ZEBEC, ZEBEC is down, right? ZEBEC is red. The whole market's red. I think there's some political things going on. But now is when you eat the dip, right? BCA in and buy it while it's down because it is going to run, right? So thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing, and subscribing. And in this moment is when you buy, right? Buy the dip. Not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. But it's your main man, BTM. And I'm telling you on this Friday, things are prime and ZBEC is about to start pumping. ZBEC is down and it's been consolidating and it's been consolidating rather well, right? It's been holding the 004, the 003. Well, we're at 004, 00399. So right at the 4, and it's been around that 4 the whole time. So I think a lot of the fudders are mad. People are going crazy because they thought it was going to plummet, and it hasn't. And if it's a rug pull, when are they going to rug pull, right? So just stop with the whole rug puller, rug scam bud, guys. Just give it up. GBIC is not going, right? It's holding strong and it is going to start to push to that next leg up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. Trying to keep the lights on BTM Crypto News Network. So let's turn on the spotlight and see what we can see. So here we go. Don't forget to sign up for the BTM Crypto News Network to stay current on events and updates. Currently, we don't have any ZBEC updates, so we're just going to go through some information.
That crypto coin
And
ZBEC.
this is a older video. Let me make sure, see if we can make sure you can hear it. Turn the sound up a little bit. And let's play the video.
Have y'all been paying attention to what's been going on with that crypto coin ZBEC? I've been seeing it all over my timeline this weekend. So, child, I did my own research. I went to digging and I see that it's linked to XRP and Ripple. So, of course, I bought me some. And if you missed out on the 2020 wave, child, you don't want to miss out on this one. Everything's going to go digital. Everything's going to be digital assets. And if you don't own any crypto in the years to come, I don't know what to tell you. You just going to sit back and see. My life going to be totally different a year from now. All my investments I made, yeah. Have y'all been paying attention to what's been going on with that?
That was from May. GBIC is the name echo in every corner of crypto now. They're saying 5x gains in days, not months. And it's not just hype. They built a real-time utility, AI, and global payments rail. Don't miss the wave. You'll be chasing it later. GBIC is loading. Bags or regrets, choose. So that's the TikTok. What is this? Forced turn something? Wait, see. Forced turn filtered, I guess. I don't know. But this is from the actual page, and this is them talking about Gatenon. ZBEC is building programmable money. Gatenon's building programmable trust. It's a perfect fit. And I'm not even sure if the rest of this founder of Gatenon shares the ZBEC and Gatenon partnership. Strengthens ZBEC's future on-chain payments, cards, and compliance. Let's watch this little quick jewel.
Why do you think it's important that ZEBEC has brought GateNox into its ecosystem now?
I think it's a perfect fit. ZEBEC focuses on building the ecosystem and building their own rails. Mm-hmm. They brought payroll into the ecosystem, but then if you bring payroll, you need to address the other side, hence the card, so people can spend money that they receive from their employers. So again, ZEBEC is focusing on programmable money. GateNox has been focusing on programmable trust. So this is, in my opinion, perfect trust, and I'm happy that ZEBEC feels the same way.
That was a quick video from ZEBEC and GateNox. ZBIX is heating up 50,000 payroll processed through ZBIC. Real-time payments, real-world utility, staking, governance, RWA, it's all happening. That 1 cent price won't last forever. If you're still asleep on this, don't say nobody told you. Let's go ZBIC. This is another little quick on X Twitter. ZBIC is making waves. Hold. So ZBIC's network price appears poised for a reversal after breaking out a bullish pattern as the price action begins to reflect recent developments on the fundamental front. Real-time payment streaming. Okay, I guess there's some sound here. There's some clicking and a couple of the same video, or a couple of the same images flashing back and forth. So shout out to CKJ Crypto News. This is supercharging ZBIC. To use that for the thumbnail. ZBIC holders, remember these pumps and dumps artists are only here to fund the project that caused to lose your bag.
They realize the position they're in, and they realize how easy it is to make money in the position they're in, and they continue to just make money.
Yeah.
You know, I personally understand it. And then for me at the same time, it's like, you know, it's you just don't want to, I can't do it just because, you know, it's fucked up.
You know what? Actually,
Sitting on ZBEC was fun. Yeah, shit was fun, bro. That was funny. I sold all my ZBEC.
yeah, so I made the opposite videos in April. I swapped all my H bar for ZBAC, and I'm like,
made money.
I made like it was kind of like a joking video. I just made like a little bit of money,
Oh, okay. So you didn't really make any money.
just like like a couple $100.
Oh, what the fuck? I mean, it did good, bro. It really did good. You know, it's when you get the XRP people behind shit, bro. These motherfuckers are delusional.
It's the strongest. You know what? So I am a holder of XRP, and they are. It's like the strongest community, right? So if like they're going to support something, it's probably going to do pretty well. No.
Well, bro, 100%. It's gonna be stable. It's gonna hold strong.
And all of those people that got into ZBAC early, I hope you guys took profits. I don't know. I hope you guys took profits.
Yeah, same. He said literally talking about dumping on his community. No, I just dumped on the ZBAC community. Wasn't my community. Wasn't my people. I told everybody what I was doing.
A lot of people just no.
I'm just honest.
It is what it is, right? No.
Yeah, bro. 100%. But I'll reach out to you, bro. Privately, see what's up. I would love to visit the restaurant, stop by, have a coffee. And they realize
What a clown. What a clown. But you can take profits, but why dump, right? It hadn't even pumped for real. You're missing out, bro. If crypto like Hype, ZBIC, Toshi, XRP, HBAR, and the rest are going to the bottom, it must be here. Others hit low in and expect support range at the 0.61 FIB and 223 billion market cap. Daily potential hidden bullish if pivots here. 4-hour potential regular bullish div if pivots. 1-hour potential regular div if pivots also. Do you think it will? So this is more charting and looking like the upside is coming for ZEBEC. So this is ZEBEC refuses to go down. Strong community, one more dip, then resume the pump. I think so as well. This is the 0093, and we're at the 0039. The 0039, and we're at the 0039. Says it might go down to the 003 and then rocket back up. So let me know what you guys think. How far down you think before it starts to reverse and push back up? When ZBIC moonshot to $1. Anything notice? Anything here? So this is ZBIC, and this is XRP. Very similar. Very similar, actually. It goes to more turbo. So let's look at the numbers real quick. So where is ZBIC? ZBIC is here, down 3.3 on the day, 4.2 on the week, up 62 for the month, and 194 on the year, down 1.1 on the hour. FTX is down 8, Toshi's down 7, Monk's down 6.4, White is up 7.1. Somebody did mention White was going to pump. Fartcoin is down 10.5, AI Tech's down 9, Brett's down 9. Prime's down 7.2, Hence down 1.9, Pepe is down 6.2, GigaChad is down 11.3, Arrow's down 9.2. I'm glad I waited to get in on Arrow. Mudang's down 8.6, Nair's down 6.1, Casper's down 2.8, Radium is down 6.9, Virtual is down 9.8, XPX is down 17.7. Good time to get in. Mr. Miggles is down 10.1. Archblock is up 2.4. Ethereum Classic is down 4.2. XLM is down 3.8. XRP is down 2.5. Uniswap's down 9. Powell's down 3. Bear's down 5.7. Link is down 5.3. Ethereum is down 5.3. Swarm's down 10. Radiant's down 9.6. Snake is down 4.8. Dodge is down 5.8. ALI is down 10. Jupiter's down 6. AIZBT is down 6.9. Let's look at let's look at CoinGecko first. CoinGecko says it's 003 down 3.9. Market cap 345 million. 24-hour trading volume 17 million. So want to look here section because there's actual comments. So ZBEX at the 0039 down 3.4 today. Market cap 333.5 million, down 3.9%. 15.9 million market cap, down 15%. See what the chat is. ZBEC is simple and plain. It's time to be buying. Short-term hourly bullish bias confirmed, strong moving averages, trend indicator ADX, and supporting oscillators. Intermediate for long-term daily trend strong. Some neutral oscillation signs supporting opportunity but cautious, warranted. Price action to monitor rejection or hold or pivot to 004 through the 72. Breakout to 005 could lead to further upside. ZBIC, the decline is due to general declines. I suspect a disruption recovery. The network is gathering a lot of interest. Cards are promising as well as its mechanics. What it has to offer by the end of the year, I suspect a high capitalization, as it has required to receive and approve. It's still trying to obtain. Great interview with the founder of GateKnox. We saw some of that earlier. A good entry level or time to reload. It's now. Don't miss out, fan. Eat the dip. Hold Hold on to your bags, go outside, enjoy nature, and we'll be back beyond all-time high soon. Shout out to Bert. Follow this guy. And follow this guy. See who else. See here. ZBIX, this crash needs to happen so we can have a big payday. When the whales load up, back up, sit on your hands, do nothing. If you're fearful, good times are coming for the brave. ZBIC is going up soon. Next coin to rocket is about to launch. Please, how to send my 4,550 from OK Wallet, whatever. It will Binance Alpha listing soon. Token to the moon soon. Mark my words. ZBIC announced today we're getting SOX 2 certified. This opens the door for enterprises, governments, universities, and financial institutions. The U.S. Ripple, Solana, HBAR, Stellar are SOC 2 certified. Chainlink, Ondo, and Vito are not. Do you see a pattern the path ZBIC is taking yet? The other SOC 2 certified cryptos are 8 billion plus market cap. Okay. That would be nice. 5 to 8 billion, 10 billion, 15 billion. I'm here for it. Healthy correction at the 004. We should be going upward soon to 005 this weekend. Nice recovery. Way to go. We'll go to the moon, not in time, coming days and nights. Just buckle up. It is time to fly up the beautiful sky. Enjoy good times this moment. Peace. So let's look at the holders. Currently, we're at, let's refresh this. Come back when it refreshed. Looks like a rug pull is coming to me. This is the future ZBEC network 004. I sold a million ZBEC coins, lesson learned. I should have DCA'd again. Of course, it's not financial advice. I'm just reading comments. It was a nice meeting all the good members here. I think I'll be closing down this account. Too many problems on the website. Wish everyone the best. You can catch me over on X. Let's freaking go. ZBCN always. And we saw this video earlier. She's weathering the storm pretty good. Keep holding, keep buying. We are good. So back to the holders. So currently we're at 75,808 at the 0039. Last 4 hours, we've added 24 holders, 12 hours, 54. 1 day, 81. 3 days, 146. 7 days, 651. 14 days, 401. And for the month, 23,794. So it went down a little bit because it was 24,000. But there's still a lot of holders in 30 days, guys. And let's look at the charts on the 5 minute. Looks like we're down to the 003, but we're holding the 003. RSI is down to 31.9. Oh, RSI based moving average. RSI is 28, getting oversold territory. We're losing volume on the 5 minute, and looks like the MACD is closing. On the 15-minute chart, got a couple of reds, couple of greens. RSI based moving average is 40. RSI is down to 32.3. We're losing volume on that 15-minute chart, and there was a MACD cross. 45-minute chart shows RSI is down to 43.1. Losing volume on the 45-minute, got a couple of red candles, putting us at the 0034. On the 1 hour at the 0034, RSI is flat. RSI moving average is flat. The RSI is 35, losing volume there as well. And on the 4-hour chart, got 3 red candles for 4-hour period. The RSI based moving average is flat at 45. RSI is dipping back down to 30. 8.3, and there is a red candle on the 4-hour, which we can see. And looks like the MACD cross, so we're probably turning down a little bit. But let me know what you guys think. This is the live stream for Martine Lucas. Live stream. Got Marcus singing live on the live stream. Keep pushing. So this is a video I did want to play. This is the crypto fan.
Pump 300%. Now the chart's flatten. Is this the calm before the run, or is this another rug pull? I'm the crypto fan. We're gonna get into it. Hit a like and subscribe. All right. So if you look at the charts right now, ZBEC has a support. You look at the support, it's at 00398 to 00415. That's the support. You guys already know what the resistance is at. We try and bust that 005 that we haven't bust yet, okay? But that's what right now, that's where we at. That's where the support at. So right now it's trading sideways. That's why you call consolidating. It's consolidating right now, folks. All right, this is when the smart money starts to reload or they start to exit. But one way, there's going to be a big move. So, all right. So after the run, ZBEC has come out with some announcements. So they had a 30% buyback fueled by Circle. All right. So and you guys seen the moves by Circle. Remember who reported to you 2 weeks ago about Circle's IPO? The crypto fan. And since the IPO came out $69, it shot to $240. You heard it here at Crypto Fan. But we're not here for that. We're going to talk about ZBEC. If you want to hear more about that, go look at my next episode. But back to ZBEC. So you had the Circle fueled that 30% buyback. Then, well, from what I'm hearing, there's rumors, a lot of rumors about Ripple institutional treasury links to the treasury. All right, institutional treasury. All right. Also, Uphold is showing support for 35 million to support ZBEC. 35 million with an M. All right. And also the black card is on pre-order. So that's coming out. And they already have the payrolls all around major countries. All right. So that's another thing. So right now, when you're looking at it, you guys are probably figure out why it's not moving. So you're aware the total market right now is down. Last week, we were at 3.39 trillion. We have 3.19 trillion. Okay. Just so you guys understand, when I say 3.19 trillion, okay, let's go on CoinMarketCap. Okay. So you're going to go to CoinMarketCap. That's www.coinmarketcap. All right. CoinMarket. All right. Go on there. Oh, CAP. CoinMarketCap.com. All right, so you're gonna go to the top left. See at top left, you're gonna see it says 3.19 trillion. That's the total money that's in crypto. Okay. All right. Now 64% of that is Bitcoin. All right. And then 9% of it is Ethereum. So altogether, that's 73%. The other 26% that's left, that's all invested in all the other altcoins. All right. And just so you're aware, 85% of that is on the top 20. Okay. So that leaves the little bit left for the other 30,000. No, just to let you know, being real though. All right. So, and then if you look at the fear and greed index, is at 48%. So just so you understand, right now, crypto's down 1.7%. It's come down. So the total market is down right now. All right. So, and then ZBEC has still been holding that support at 3.9 with the total market being down. So that's strong. And if it goes down under that 3.9, the next support is going to be 0.036. All right. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a financial advisor, but every time I hit 3.9, I pick up a little something. I pick up a little poquito, just a little something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? T-bye, you know, a little something. You know what I mean? Just saying. But I'm not a financial advisor. Because if this is a rug pull, y'all gonna be looking crazy. I'm gonna be looking crazy. But one thing we're gonna do, we're gonna keep doing our homework. We're gonna keep doing the due diligence to figure out what this is. All right. But right now, if you figure out why it's so boring, they the move to the market right now is down. All right. And ZBEC is just consolidating. And like I said, This is when smart money reloads before they exit. I'm just keeping it real. Here, I'm here to report the news. I'm just here to tell you what it is. You like it or not. I'm not going to give you stuff just to hit likes. I'm here to share the information. You know what I'm saying? You know why they call it shares? Like when you buy stocks, you share because you got to share it. You share it. I share it to you for $10. You share it to somebody else for $12. They share it to $14. This is not something where you're going to, this is market here in crypto and investments. This is not something you keep to yourself. This is not where you be selfish. You got to share the information so your shares grow. You know how it grows? By sharing it. The more people buy, the more it grows. All right? You got to share. Sharing is caring. The crypto fan. Hit like, hit subscribe. ZBEC pump 300%.
So shout out to the crypto fam. Fan or fan? Fan. Okay. He's right. You got to share the information. That's how we get the numbers out here and get people to buy, because as they buy, the price goes up. So sharing is definitely caring. So let me know what you guys think about what he's saying. Is it a good time to buy, yay or nay? I personally think so. But we're going to keep moving to money in me, or money in, let me see, 6 hours, 5 hours. I guess we'll go with money first, and then we'll go to Lee Captain. I know you guys, some of you guys hate Lee the Captain for some reason, but I think Lee's pretty good information. Actually, let's start with this guy. I pretty much like a lot what he's talking about here. Let me set it up for you. Make sure there is volume here, and let's get it going. This is Big BC.
What, ladies and gents, you know what time of day it is. It's ZEBEC time, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about ZEBEC. We're going to be discussing what we are seeing here on the charts, and I'll be giving you guys my price prediction for ZEBEC over the coming days and weeks, as well as my targets for 2025. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, if you are a new viewer, then welcome to this channel. If you do like this sort of content, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you all here. So of course, we're going to be diving straight into this video, and we are going to start off with the shorter term. This is the picture for ZEBEC on the 1 hour charts right now. And what we're seeing here on ZEBEC is pretty much reflected through most other coins for our crypto right now. We are in some sort of consolidation phase. Of course, as you can see, for the past few days, ZEBEC has barely moved from this 0.0041 level. And if you have a look at the rest of the crypto market as well in the top right, you can see that the movement today has also been really small. Most of the coins here are up like around 1% for the day. So we are seeing a very similar picture. Not much movement, essentially calm before the storm. And here for ZEBEC, I think that things could be very bullish for ZEBEC once we start to see real movement in the market. And some of the reasons why I think ZEBEC is bullish here in the shorter term is if we have a look at the general trend here for ZEBEC, we are still doing very nicely here in the shorter term. Of course, since we came down to this low there at 0.037, and we've broken past this main trend line that was facing down, we've been in this new bullish trend. So essentially, ZEBEC for the past week, even with all the news to do with Iran and Israel, has still been in this bullish trend heading upwards. And of course, like I say, since we're seeing this massive constriction in price, I do expect there to be quite a bit of a move over the coming days. Now, some of the things that I'm looking for here on the shorter term in ZEBEC. Now, the first thing that I want to mention is something that looks a little bit like this. Now, this is our first pattern that we have been monitoring. We've been monitoring this for the past week. Of course, this is a falling wedge, and it has a very nice bullish price target. And since we've broken out from it already, we should expect to see 0.007 over the coming days and weeks. Now, of course, that's only if this is respected, but if we start to see the whole crypto market going up, which I think we will over the coming days and weeks, then we should see this as our shorter term target here for ZEBEC. Of course, if we can get to this level, that is essentially where the previous all-time high is. And if prices get to that level, I don't think there's any reason why it can't also get to 0.01. That's a strong short-term level here for ZBEC. That's going to be quite a bit of a resistance, in my opinion. And so those are my two bullish targets here for the shorter term to do with this falling wedge. Now, there's some other patterns that I'm potentially looking for here on ZBEC as well. Another one that I wanted to point out was we have this support here in the shorter term that we've discussed, and we also have a bunch of trend lines that could form our resistance. So the one that I talked about in our last video looks a little bit like this. This is a triangle pattern, and if we break out to the upside, let's say we do something like this, where the prices go up and we see the prices kind of use this resistance as a resistance before breaking out, then that would be very bullish for me, because then in my opinion we've seen a breakout from a triangle that looks like this, and of course the price target for this sits at around 0.009. so this is another thing I am paying attention for here on ZBEC in the shorter term. Just for completion as well, I wanted to show you this that I am monitoring as well, because I am seeing a similar setup on XCN to something like this. Essentially, this would be some sort of right angle triangle, and as you can see, this area here, this 0.0051-ish level here has been tested as a resistance on multiple different occasions. And so if the prices do bounce from here and we start to see a breakout past the 0.0051 cents region, we could be looking at a price target of this right angle triangle that would take us again pretty much up to 0.007, the same as the falling wedge. So there's three potential patterns that we are looking at in the shorter term here, depending on how the prices react. So let's say the prices do exactly as what I've pointed out over here, then that could mean that we are seeing that triangle that I showed you earlier. But let's say the prices just zoom up to this resistance here and kind of bounce a few times, then maybe it's slightly more probable that we are seeing this right angled triangle, if that makes sense. So those are some bullish things that I'm looking for here on ZBEC in the shorter term. I just want to prepare you guys as well, because of course we have this strong support, but I just want to go over a scenario where if this support breaks, we could be looking at prices slipping down quite a bit further. Now, of course, one of the levels that I'm watching for here on ZBEC, if we do see a breakdown below that support, is this next support here. Now, this is 0.0036 if that does occur, and I believe at this level here will be the next strong support for the ZBEC price. So actually not too much of a fall if we do start to lose this 0.04 cents level. So that's also pretty decent news. Now, I believe there's a better chance of a bullish outcome here in the shorter term, because like I say, the whole crypto market at the moment is in some sort of consolidation mode. If I just show you guys Bitcoin quite quickly, this is the picture that we are seeing on Bitcoin. And as you can see, again, for the past few days, we have just been consolidating here on Bitcoin. But the consolidation pattern that we are seeing here on Bitcoin is extremely bullish. Now, as you can see, we've got these two trend lines here on Bitcoin. We've got the resistance, the support, and essentially what you are looking at here on Bitcoin is some sort of bull flag pattern. Now, we can say it's a bull flag because the price is going into the all-time high here on Bitcoin in the first place was this parabolic move. We've seen this pause in the uptrend. And so if we start to see a breakout to the upside here on Bitcoin, I think the prices here on Bitcoin are going to be heading quite a lot higher. Now, of course, if that happens, that's going to be dragging the rest of crypto up with it as well. And so for us here on ZBEC, that should correlate to something pretty bullish happening on the ZBEC chart. Now, on top of that as well, what we've also seen is this correlation between the global liquidity and the Bitcoin, and by extension, crypto prices. So generally speaking, when global liquidity increases, we also see crypto prices as a whole increase along with it. And the reason for that is because if there's more liquidity in a system, then more of that liquidity, more of that money flows into crypto and then pumps up the prices. And so this is why we're seeing quite a strong correlation between the global liquidity and crypto. And as you can see here, The global liquidity has been rocketing off ahead throughout 2025. And so if we maintain that strong correlation between crypto and the global liquidity, we should see Bitcoin prices hitting 120K within the next few weeks. And if you have a few months on your horizon, we could be looking at 140 or 150K according to this correlation. So it kind of supports the idea that Bitcoin is going to be heading higher from this bull flag, the fact that we've got that correlation. And it also means that there is a bullish bias, in my opinion, here on the ZEBEC chart. So that could be a potentially shorter thing where we start to see prices rising again within the next few days. Of course, if we have a bit of a longer term view here on ZEBEC, some of the things that I am monitoring as well on the longer term include something that looks a bit like this. Now, as you can see from this resistance, it encompasses the two peaks that we've had here on June. And of course, we have this support down here, which has also been tested twice. And so essentially, if we get a few more tests of support and resistance, let's say we see the prices pump and do something like this, we could be seriously watching a bull flag pattern play out here on ZEBEC as well. And the price target from this pattern would be a longer term one, but it will give us a massive target here on ZEBEC of 0.037 if we break out past this upper resistance line. So again, something that I'm monitoring here, potentially on the longer term for ZEBEC. And of course, remember guys, if you want to get $10 absolutely free, then don't forget to check out the MEX exchange. As you can see on the screen, they're giving every new user who signs up using the link in the description down below $10 to get started. And don't forget that MEX doesn't require KYC to start buying and selling crypto. So of course, if you want to make use of that offer, simply sign up using that link in the description. Don't forget to deposit some fiat currency or crypto into your MEX account, and then they'll give you that $10 straight away. So you can simply buy some ZEBEC with it, or you can use the MEX futures to trade ZEBEC with up to 20 times leverage. So of course, guys, thank you so much for supporting this channel. Let's get back into this video. So this is one of the longer term targets that we have here for ZEBEC. The other ones that I have here for ZEBEC fall along the fib levels here on the chart. Now we use the fib levels because, as you can see on the screen, the ZEBEC price does respect them as places of support and resistance. So for example, this pump that we had here throughout May and June took us right to this 1.414 fib here. So if prices can make new all-time highs here on ZEBEC, the next natural target is this 1.618 fib, which lies at just under the 0.01 level. Now, of course, this is a level we already talked about in the shorter term. And for the longer term, the next natural target here is 1.7 cents, 0.017. And after that, we have one of my main targets for 2025, the important 2.618 fib. That tells us we could be seeing 0.046 here on ZEBEC in 2025. Now, of course, if the prices are able to get past this upper level, then the next natural target for me, another major price target that I have for ZEBEC in 2025, is this 10 cents level. Now that's going to be a big psychological level, a bit like $100,000 Bitcoin was, or $1 million Bitcoin will be. And so essentially, I think this is going to be a strong resistance for ZEBEC. So those are the two main targets that I have here for ZEBEC in 2025. Of course, some of the things that we are looking for in order to have the best possible chance of reaching those upper price targets is these two indicators on the CoinMarketCap homepage. So you can just simply go on their website, and these two boxes are the most important ones that we are monitoring: the altcoin season index and the fear and greed index. And so essentially what we need to see is this value at above 75. That tells us that altcoins as a whole are wildly outperforming Bitcoin. And another thing that we need to see alongside that is this fear and greed index at above 80. So when the value goes above 80, it shows that there's extremely positive sentiment in the market. There's a lot of greed, there's a lot of euphoria, and that's the kind of environment that allows cryptos to 2x, 5x, even 10x in the shortest space of time. So when we concurrently see this at above 80 and the altcoin season index at above 75, we are going to see frenzies within crypto where a lot of these smaller cap cryptos are going to be doing extremely well. And of course, ZEBEC, being a small cap crypto in a very, very good category of crypto, is going to have the best possible chance of reaching these upper price targets. So of course, That's what I wanted to say for this video here on ZEBEC. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do let me know down in the comments if you are still holding your ZEBEC. If you are holding your ZEBEC, let me know if you are staking your ZEBEC for yields. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you.
So that was the big finance channel. And moving forward, this is I think we're going with Money and Me next. Let me know what you guys think about what he's saying about the leg up for ZBCN. So let's see what Money and Me has to say.
Sideways. But what comes next? Are we going to explode to the upside, or are we going to come crashing all the way down? This is a video you definitely don't want to miss. But remember, nothing here is financial advice. I can always be wrong. So make sure you guys do your research. Before I start talking about ZBCM though, if you're looking for a great crypto exchange, make sure you check out my link to BTCC. You get 10% bonus on first-time deposits, extra bonuses up to $10,000, no VPN, no KYC. If you're someone that trades using leverage, you get to use up to 500x leverage. The link will be in my description down below for anyone that is interested. But getting into the video here, obviously we have to take a look at the crypto bubbles and see how the top 100 coins is performing today. And it's another red day, right? So the last week hasn't been the greatest in the market. You know, it's just been completely brutal, man. Like, these coins just continue to go down. Like, I'm seeing all levels of support just being broken. And this is why I talk about knowing where you're buying these coins at all times. Don't just be buying randomly, because the last thing you want to be doing is buying the peak, then the coin come crashing down, then you don't know what to do. You're panicking. You don't know, should you panic sell? Should you buy the dip? Like, you just don't know. But we've all been there, especially if you're new to the market. You hear someone talking about coin, it seems extremely bullish. You read the comment section, everyone seems extremely bullish. So you just buy randomly, and then, yeah, the coin come crashing all the way down because you bought it at the very peak. Funny enough, I was reading a comment. Someone left a comment on one of my ZBCN videos from almost 2 weeks ago, and they were basically saying how what I'm talking about is BS. They bought ZBCN, and it's only gone down ever since they bought. And I was looking at the price on ZBCN. I'm like, ZBCN is down less than 50% from its all-time highs, which tells me they probably bought ZBCN at the all-time highs. And again, this is why you're supposed to look at where you're buying these coins before you actually buy it. I'm going to get a little bit more into that a little bit later on, actually, because I feel like every time I make a ZBCN video, I always tell you guys this is where I would look to buy the dip. And for the most part, close enough, I've been kind of accurate, you know, but hey, it is what it is. But if we get back to the video here, we see the fear and greed index is sitting in neutral, a 54 neutral. And if we take a look at Bitcoin's price, Bitcoin is sitting at 103,800. The problem here, well, it's not a problem yet, but if Bitcoin does end up breaking 100K, because it came close, you know, all the way back here on, what was that? That was June 5th. Oh, I thought it was actually more recent than that. Let's see. Yeah, so the last time it came close was at the beginning of this month. Came to 100,000, but if it ever breaks on 100K, then it's going to be a nightmare for a lot of these altcoins. You know, Bitcoin sitting at 99,000, people are going to start to panic like crazy. But getting into ZBCN, if there's any news here on their X account, so they posted this a couple hours ago. ZEBEC is building programmable money. GateKnox is building programmable trust. It's a perfect fit, right? So that's what the founder of GateKnox talked about in this video, which is definitely cool. Just a 43-second clip for anyone that wants to check that out in their X account. But yeah, I talk about how I like that they keep us informed. I'm still waiting for the buyback for May. That'll definitely, well, not definitely, but it could have a positive impact on the price action for ZEBEC. But if we come over here and to CoinMarketCap, ZEBEC right now is sitting at 0.00398. On the day, it is down 2%. In the week, it is down over 8%. On the month, it's still up over 72%. So anyone that's been in ZEBEC for the last like couple months with me or whatever, like, you're still up on your investment. But I don't know, it's up to you guys if you want to take profits. Obviously, I always talk about having your own trading strategy, and yeah, just do whatever you feel is comfortable with doing. Now, one thing that we need to take note of is the volume, okay? The volume is down in the last 24 hours. It's down 36%. And if we check this out over here, the volume is at 13.5 million. So the volume has actually come down quite significantly over the last month. So that's definitely to be, you got to pay attention to that, right? Volume always predicts price. Now, I'm not saying that we need to be overly worried because the volume has come crashing down, because a lot of the altcoins for the volume, it's down as well, right? Because of the certain time that you're in. But as long as you know what you hold, then you're going to be fine over the long term. In the short term, it just doesn't look all that great for the entire crypto space. But people are still bullish. People are still bullish on ZBCN. If we come over to some of these comments right here, so another 150,000 ZBCN coin in my bag. So yeah, people are still buying up the dips. And the reason why they're buying up the dips is because they clearly have done their research and they know what they hold. So this person says ZBCN still loading up, buyer's market, don't be fearful, right? So yeah, people are still bullish here. And let's see, ZBCN train is packed and leaving. That was from 6 hours ago. Okay, now if we check out the price movement on ZBCN over here, so as you can see by this chart, this thing really has been trading sideways for an extended period of time, pretty much since June 10th, right? It bottomed out ever since making a double top, which I have talked about. In my ZBCN videos, because I've been covering ZBCN for the last like 3 months or something like that, even though I'm a investor in ZBCN, I always tell you guys where I think is a good time to buy, whether or not I believe the price is going to be correcting. And right here after I made that double top, I told you guys I felt like ZBCN could potentially come down to 0.0033. It didn't quite come down all the way here. It came all the way down to 0.0037. But I always try to be as honest and open with you guys, because I know that sometimes some people are new to ZBCN. They'll watch this video and maybe I sound overly bullish, and then they're like, okay, I'm just going to buy it, and they didn't even look at what the price is. But this is why you always have to take in all the information and not just partial of the information. If you only take in partial of the information, you're going to be caught holding, from the all-time highs. And I don't want anyone buying these things at the all-time highs. Let someone else, buy at the all-time highs while you dip buy. You get a better deal than the person that bought at the very peak. Even though I do believe that ZBCN is going to retest these all-time highs again at some point, always try to get a better deal than the next person, okay? But right now, ZBCN is trading sideways. It had this nice move towards the upside after the token unlock. So this down period was caused due to the fact that it already went on a parabolic run, and we had a unlock period that was coming up. So people start to take a lot of profits, which is natural, which is normal, right? There had to be a healthy correction. And after the unlock period, ZBCN just went straight up, right? It went to 0.0051 after bottoming down here 0.0037. Okay. And then what ended up here is the entire market starts to pull back. It was just, war escalations and stuff like that. And ZBCN just starts to pull back with the overall crypto market. So this pullback isn't because ZBCN sucks. This pullback is because the entire market is pulling back. And sometimes ZBCN does go with the market. So yeah, this is why we're pulling back right now. But what's very good about the chart on ZBCN is the fact that it is just trading sideways. So that cannot be ignored. Some of these coins in the market, they're breaking all sorts of support levels, but ZBCN has been holding up this support level above 0.0037. So that's a very strong sign that people have been looking to accumulate around this area where the price is at right now. So got to pay attention to that, right? You can't ignore the fact that this, as of this moment, has been holding up as a pretty solid support. Now, if this support does break, then we're going to have to retalk things, and then yeah, it could probably come down into the twos or something like that. But for right now, I'm liking what I'm seeing here on the charts for ZBC, and I don't mind some sideways action. It's definitely beats breaking towards the downside. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Are you still holding?
So shout out to my main man, Money and and he's right. There's nothing crazy going on, guys. ZBIC is just consolidating, and the consolidation is still in effect. But at some point, it is going to run. You can see most of the market is red. with the current conditions, I suspect it's going to be red. People saying it might start to pump over the weekend. I seriously doubt that, guys. But at some point, we will get back on track. So let me know what you guys think. And this is Lee, the captain. Let's see what Lee's talking about.
Run, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and let me explain why. It's because when I take a look at ZEBEC, something that I've been really keen on it, as of late at least, is the fact.
What up, Vinny T? What is going on, brother? Welcome to the. Looking at something here. The BTM Crypto News Network. I thought I saw a video, but I guess not. Just going through here. I got to get some ZBN merch, right? Or make some more XRP videos. Maybe I'll do an XRP live. Let me know what you guys think about that. But let's get back to Lee, the captain.
That it's really focused on compliance. Now, some people out there like to wonder, okay, why does, being focused on this type of stuff even matter? Well, in my opinion, other projects out there, they're focused on getting random partnerships, trying to do this, do that, but they don't really care about compliance. And I think that right there, it kind of shows a lack of thinking about the long term, in my opinion, because I think that moving forward, if a project really wants to survive, again, for the long term, I think having compliance really does matter. And we take a look at ZEBEC not too long ago. They acquired a compliance firm called GateKnox. And I actually talked about that when that did happen, or at least when it was reported to. When that happened, I was very excited. But now I kind of feel like ZEBEC is kind of pushing this narrative that, hey, we're a project that is focused on compliance. And also on top of that, with the acquisition that ZEBEC did when it comes to GateKnox, they could have easily, right, pivoted and partnered with a celebrity or an athlete. But they didn't do that. They did that instead. And I think that, if anything, again, really showcases that they care about the project. They don't treat it as like a for fun thing, if that makes sense. And we have to take a look at another key aspect that ZEBEC is focused on, something called RWAs. Now, why is this even important, people may ask? Because take a look at a project like Ondo, for instance. It's very massive, right? Way bigger than ZEBEC as of right now. And that's focused on RWAs. So we kind of know that is a narrative that someone works. You know what I mean? And we have to take a look at what that is, because RWAs, what it stands for is real world asset. And for instance, if we take a look at RWA tokens, they are digital representations of physical assets on the blockchain. This really is something special because, in my opinion, we have to take a look at what markets it could be used for, like real estate. We take a look at art, for instance, stocks, bonds. There's a lot of possibilities. But again, just imagine that. A digital representation of a physical asset on a blockchain. That is absolutely game changing, in my opinion. ZEBEC isn't the only one focused on this, but I like that aspect when it comes to ZEBEC because if we take a look at something like Ripple and Stellar, they're very kind of like simple, in my opinion. Like, sure, they have aspects of ISO 20022, they're focused on global trade and finance, they're focused on the payments market, but really, I think ZEBEC brings more layers to what is kind of traditionally viewed as somewhat a market sector that really isn't that exciting. Because think about this, right? There's a lot of hype for blockchain gaming, NFTs, DeFi, and whatnot. But there isn't really much hype when it comes to projects that are focused on global trade and finance or the payments market. And I think ZEBEC is kind of bringing that aspect because it's focused on AI-based PayFi. And we have to take a look at why this even matters. The AI market is predicted to reach nearly $2 trillion by 2030, according to Grandview Research. So I think that when it comes to something like ZEBEC, they're clearly focused on the right areas. They're not focused on some random nonsense, if that makes sense. This is what I like about them. But then the thing is, the ZBCN had a very good pump. Now it has a pullback. Everyone's like, oh man, it's never going to do well again. Well, when people ask me that question, even though I'm not telling anyone to buy ZBCN, I like to remind myself that, ZBCN had that major pump really without much going on for it, in a sense that the altcoin space wasn't doing the best. And also on top of that, it wasn't like ZEBEC was doing anything that, revolutionary. It just really had a good run. And if it did that with market conditions, which many people viewed as kind of boring and really no major catalyst at that time, could you imagine what would really happen to ZBCN if the markets really did wake up? I mean, this is why I still believe in the idea of maybe 10 cents, because not too long ago, it was around like an 11x or 13x or whatever. And then now, of course, it's over 20x away from that price again. But I just don't see why that is too unachievable. Because again, ZBCN did that not too long ago without much bullish factors, really. And I like to think about this as well when it comes to ZEBEC. If we view, payrolls, right? I get it. Sometimes people like to think, oh, payrolls, they're not really that interesting. Well, we have to take a look at it. Like not too long ago, initially when I was kind of talking about like ZEBEC, right? It was reported that there was around 50,000 monthly users, again, not too long ago. And also there was over 200 payroll enterprise clients. So we got to think about this. That's really amazing in my opinion, especially for a project, relatively speaking, kind of like not that big. ZEBEC has achieved some impressive stuff. And being focused on enterprises, I think is a genius move because we have to take a look back in history. What fostered the growth of the internet? That was something called enterprise adoption. The retail market helped, but you know what? Enterprises, they have the volume, they have the capital, and they have the resources to really facilitate that, growth at a much larger scale. So while other projects out there, they're focused on the retail side of things, we have to take a look at how ZEBEC, they're not like that. They understand that enterprises are the way to go, in theory. And I'm not saying that they completely ignore the retail side of things, because of course, not too long ago, they were talking about like a TV ad campaign. So I think that was pretty, interesting. But again, I kind of like this focus when it comes to the enterprise side of things, because I think this kind of gives something like ZEBEC great longevity. If it was just a project that was focused on hype and all this type of stuff, who knows if it's going to be run by the time the next cycle comes around. But this one doesn't feel like that. They acquired Science Card UK, right? Not too long ago, focus on education through that. They also, again, focus on GateKnox, which I talked about earlier in the video. They're doing hypothetically great things, in my opinion. But the way I take a look at it is that the cherry on top is the fact that allegedly something like Circle, which by the way, recently got, publicly listed, right? Publicly traded now, which is, I think, very impressive. But Circle allegedly, which is the creator of USDC, the stablecoin, they were noted to be an early investor when it comes to ZEBEC. And also, it was reported that, based on a post by ZEBEC, at least on X, it was kind of showcasing something along the lines of how Circle was holding a pretty big amount of ZBCN. So we got to think about that. When something is as massive as Circle, again, the creator of USDC, the stablecoin, I highly doubt that they're going to be wanting to panic sell ZBCN randomly. You know what I mean? Initially, when I first saw that post, some of my friends were like, oh, that's kind of alarming, man. Why does Circle hold a lot of, ZBCN? Isn't that kind of bad? Well, again, how is it bad? Circle is really massive. Like for them, probably their ZBCN holdings won't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things. I mean, again, USDC is doing way better than ZEBEC. You know what I mean? Like they don't really need that, but then they believe in it anyways, So then I think that gives ZBCN a lot of stability. I mean, if let's say like one of the early investors of ZEBEC was like something that we don't really know, we just don't know what is the situation that they're going through, who knows, right? What they would do with that amount of holdings. But then when it comes to Circle, I just kind of feel like they won't be doing anything too, random like that, right? I don't think they would just randomly be like, oh yeah, we're exiting or something. It just doesn't give me that vibe. Now, of course, I can't tell the future. I don't know. But then again, that's just kind of the vibe that it's given, right? Not to mention Solana. We all know it's a very massive layer one blockchain, but Solana Ventures, allegedly, one of the early investors when it comes to ZEBEC. And I think arguably they did make a pretty good call on that, because ZBCN not too long ago was top 10 in terms of utility when it comes to Solana. So I think really this is something that I'm very excited for. 10 cents. Again, some people are like, oh man, that's kind of bad and all this. Well, here's the thing. ZEBEC cards, right? Some people like to make fun of that, but really I think it's very impressive because it's powered by MasterCard, and also it supports many blockchains like Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, the Base Network, which is Coinbase's layer 2, Tron. I'm just naming a few there, but I'm just saying this is how impressive ZEBEC is. So when I take a look at all that type of stuff, 10 cents, it doesn't seem too ridiculous to me. It's just a waiting game. I'm still going to do what I originally did, and that is just dollar cost averaging. Anytime I acquire income, acquire my favorite projects, hold, and I just wait. Literally, that's it. And again, 10 cents, considering current circulating supply and market cap, at that point around $8.5 billion. I don't think that is too unrealistic. I mean, XRP right now has a market cap that is well beyond $100 billion. I mean, come on, this doesn't seem too ridiculous, at least in my hypothetical opinion. But even besides that, I'm still not going to give up when it comes to ZEBEC. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.
Breaking news on Martin Lucas Investor. We are looking at a crypto project called Kita, ticker symbol KTA. We're going to be looking at the chart, the project. Let me know what you guys think about this. This is the first time I'm covering it, so please bear with me when I look at the fundamentals. If you guys do like the content, we can do a deep.
Shout out to Lee, the captain. Looks like we rolled over to this Kita video you guys are always talking about. I don't know. I might let it play. Man, I'm in your casa. I'm in your casa, my man. Buying the dip. ZBCN gonna go ballistic soon. I'm in the casa. All right, in the house. Shout out to Bugatti. What's going on, brother? So yeah, I don't know, man. Do we need to? I guess we'll go ahead and play through this video. Let me double check. There is no more. Uh-oh. What is this manipulation of ZEBEC? Let's see what this guy's talking about.
The ZEBEC network continues to be on everybody's minds, but not.
Let's see here. Add a little volume. I guess this will be the last video of today. Bugatti, where you been, bro? Where you been, my main man? Let's see here. I guess we'll run this last little video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and super chat. Just trying to keep the lights on BTM Crypto News Network. And I got a shirt on the way. Hopefully at some point the shirt will actually get here. And you can check out some of my merch on Etsy. I'll put the link in the description. But let's run this, see what he's talking about the manipulation in the ZEBEC network.
For organic reasons, because on chain, we don't see that many transactions. It seems like the token is being pushed by the centralized exchanges. The question is, how much longer can this really last? Let's have a look at the data most people are not considering. Now, I've published several videos on ZEBEC on this channel before. The first one outperformed the average video by quite a bit. So there is a lot of attention on the token. Here's the second video, similar result. Video number 3 was a bit of an outlier, but 4 again performed fine, 5 outperformed. That's all happening while the price chart doesn't really look that inviting. ZEBEC initially underperformed, then we got a massive pump, and now we are starting to dump. We went from 0.7 cents to now 0.4 cents, a drop of roughly 40%. Here's that same chart, again on a linear scale. Here it's on a logarithmic scale, the ZBCN chart. Here's the same versus Ethereum, and here's the same versus Bitcoin. Now, what's interesting, and we tend to see this for many altcoins, is when trading volume is high, the price also tends to be locally high. When trading volume slows down, the price tends to be back to normal. So there is some kind of correlation between the trading volume, the attention on an asset, and its price. If there's a lot of trading happening, it might make sense to rather exit. We have again seen elevated trading volume at the end of May. And now it's coming down. We are back to normal levels. So maybe this is an opportunity to buy. But let's have a look at the on-chain data. So right now we've got 75,740 wallets that hold the ZEBEC network token on the Solana chain. Since the beginning of the month, the number of first-time traders and recurring traders tends to trend down, very much in line with the trading volume. The number of token transactions is also rather declining. ZEBEC network started trading in April of 2024. But at the beginning, at least measured in US dollars, the activity was rather low. So the most busy day saw roughly $200,000 worth of trading volume. That then went even lower. But since beginning of the year, the asset is traded much more actively. And again, as per tendency, we want to rather sell when trading volume is high and buy when it's low. For example, here have a look at the 19th of February of this year. Trading volume was very high at the time. And the 19th of February was also when the price was at least locally pretty high. Afterwards, we saw a decline of 55%. Now in this chart, the trading volume is split across different cohorts. So we've got small retail That's the wallets that have less than $1,000 worth of ZEBEC. Then we've got medium-sized retail, that's up to $10,000. And we've got large retail, that's up to $100,000. We can also normalize the trading volume to 100% every day. Then we get to this chart over here. It seems like in the early days, it was mainly small retail that traded the token, but now the bigger players are starting to get involved as well. Still, interestingly enough, ZEBEC is not part of the trending tokens on the Solana chain. Trending is only Fartcoin and Aura, or things like Labubu or the useless token or Housecoin. There are videos on all of those assets on this channel. Feel free to check them out. But really, the trading volume for ZEBEC happens on the centralized exchanges, right? Have a look at this. This is the spot trading volume. All of those exchanges are centralized. Now, in the last 24 hours, we saw 3 million worth of trading volume on Gate.io. On the perpetual futures, though, we see more trading volume. We saw 12 million. So price discovery for the token, it doesn't happen on chain. It also doesn't happen on the spot market. It all happens on the perpetual futures market, on the levered bets on the price. Now, there's always interesting data in the perpetual futures market because perps are 100% player versus player. Some people bet on rising prices, others bet on falling prices. And the delta often gets equaled out via the spot market through financing costs. And have a look at the financing costs of ZEBEC over time. They tended to be negative most of the time. This is very uncommon. Usually the funding rates are positive on the perpetual futures. In other words, usually the longs have to pay the shorts in order to get more price exposure, to lever up the exposure. But in this case, the vast majority of traders are betting on falling prices. We can also see some kind of correlation between the open interest on ZEBEC and the ZEBEC spot price. And the reason probably why we see all of that short interest in ZEBEC is the tokenomics. The number of circulating ZEBEC network tokens over time is increasing massively. And if the demand doesn't grow as quickly as the supply, the price should go down. In theory, I'm not sure though if this will happen here, because as we've already established, the price discovery of ZEBEC does not happen on chain and it does not happen on the spot market. So there's potential for a lot of manipulation by the market makers. If enough people are betting on falling prices and the market makers just buy up a lot of the supply, push up the price, short squeeze the people, thus make profit when people get forced liquidate. This is definitely possible outcome for ZEBEC. So while we might go down most of the time, if there's enough people that bet on falling prices, we see a sharp rise to the upside. And that's actually what might have happened at the end of May as well. The price went up so quickly and the funding rates were extremely negative. Everybody was betting on falling prices. So the market makers just went to the centralized exchanges and pushed the price higher. Maybe the centralized exchanges themselves did some coordinated play here. Currently, very short term, we do not see that short overhang anymore. So the market is in balance to a degree. But if enough people again get lured into betting on falling prices because of the tokenomics, we might just see another short squeeze. I very much do believe in the strategy to bet on falling prices, but we want to do this with assets where shorting is not that popular. We want to do this with assets where, again, the supply increases over time, but the asset is not much on the radar for most people. Doing the popular trade in general is a bad idea because it's only the minority of people that make money in crypto. The vast majority does not. If the majority is positioned Bitcoin Cash, where it's negative, but most of the time short interest, where there's also a lot of attention on this, right? This video is likely going to also, again, outperform the average video on this channel. There's simply too much attention on ZEBEC. This market is not retail driven. The institutions buy Bitcoin, the institutions manipulate the smaller altcoins. Instead of betting on rising or falling prices of ZEBEC that gets massively manipulated, why not bet on something like this? This here is balancer relative to Ethereum. So when this is going down, we can make money. Or we can simply invert the chart, right? This Ethereum relative to balancer. This is our performance if we bet on relative valuations. And again, the reason is pretty much the same, right? It is
Looks like the monitor has went out again. I don't know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, but I guess we will end the live stream. I'm not sure why the camera is not working. But we will, there we go. We live. But thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing, and subscribing. And super chats. Just trying to keep the lights on BTM Crypto News Network. But have a good weekend. We might go back live tomorrow or Sunday. If not, I'll see you guys on Monday. Remember, it's okay to be different. Somebody's got to be different. And maybe you're not different. Everyone else is. But as always, let's get back to the money and buy the dip, right? Eat the dip. And hopefully we'll get some ZBCN merch in at some point. If you're looking for someone to help you sponsor, go ahead and throw us some merch. Give you some shout outs. But I have my own merch on the way. But thanks for joining. Happy Friday. We made it. It's the weekend, baby. But have a good night. And we'll be back soon. Same bat channel, same bat time. Peace and hair grease and miner out.